Hi my honeys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am playing with a brand new palette. As you guys can see, my eyeshadow today, I am playing with the new ARTIST COUTURE Supreme Nudes The Quickie palette. Look how cute she is, you guys. I am obsessed with the palette, the packaging. It's so small, it's perfect for traveling, and I really can't wait to dig in and show you guys how I created this eyeshadow look that is super simple. And I really wanted to play with this palette and create something not too extravagant, because I know that a lot of you guys are not like eyeshadow pros. So I really wanted to do something more wearable and something that you guys can recreate at home. So this is the look that I came up with, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So right now I'm just gonna give you guys the details on this palette. So it does run for $30, and you have some nude shades actually. The only ones that are not nude are Exposed, Nudist, Aesthetic, and Mink. Those eyeshadows are in the original Supreme Nudes palette from ARTIST COUTURE, which you guys know is one of my favorite palettes. I've used it so many times here on my channel, and it's seriously so good. I feel like they did such an amazing job with that palette that I seriously can't see myself, you know, letting go of that, throwing it away. I know that we're supposed to throw it away, but I think I might end up buying a backup just in case. Like, it's seriously that good. And then online, I was noticing that they are doing a bundle where you can buy the Supreme Nudes, the Quickie palette, plus the Supreme Nudes palette for $60. This alone runs for $30. So why not buy both of them? And you guys can also use my code, which is Sandi, and that does knock off some money on your total. And you guys already know that I'm gonna be super honest. If I feel like you need this palette in your life, or if you can definitely skip out on it. So we will definitely see what my thoughts are at the end of today's tutorial. With that said, you guys, let's go ahead and get started and play with some eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And again, like I said, this will be our transition shade. So for that, I'm gonna go into my Morphe M441 brush, and then I'm gonna go into my Morphe M506 brush for a different color, so that way we can apply it in the area where I only want to place it. I hope this is all making sense. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna pick up the shade Nudist, and I also love to use Nudist as an all over shade. Like if I'm doing something very simple, but for today I'm going to just apply it as my transition shade. So it's gonna go all the way in here, and I don't want to like push it out too much, you guys. You know how normally I always like buff this out this way. I kind of want to keep it pretty round and just keep the main eyeshadow on this side, and then we're going to work in the eyeshadow towards the inner corner of the eye. Now I'm going to jump into my Morphe M506 and taking the shade called Aesthetic. This one right here will be our main lid shade for the outer corner of the eye. And I want something small like this first, because then we will go back into this brush from Morphe and buff it out. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just going to place it just towards this outer corner of the eye. So we're pretty much creating like a C shape, and then we're gonna go in circles and we're gonna stop right there. So I don't wanna go in too in, I just really wanna focus this towards this outer corner of the eye. I'm gonna pick up some more and just pretty much build up the intensity. You guys can go as intense as you want. I don't want to be too intense. I want to keep it just right here. And then once we've done that, I'm going to go back into that brush with no product from Morphe and just buff this out. I do go right on top of it to smooth it out, but we're just going to keep it right here. As you guys can see, I'm going back and forth again with no product just to smooth that out. And then I'm going to go back into this brush, pick up some more product, and just go back and forth, doing the exact same motions. And you can bring it as high as you want to as well, like this height. Like you can go as high as you want. I'm gonna keep it like right here. Again, with no product, I'm just gonna buff this out right on top. And then I'm gonna go in one more time and do the exact same thing. All right guys, so this is how I have it so far. Now for the main lid, I'm gonna go into the shade called Exposed. This one right here, it's a nice bone nude shade. I love to use this too when I'm doing like cut creases. Like I can seriously just use Nudist and Exposed by themselves and create a nice half cut crease. You know how those are just so in style right now. I just love nude shades so much. So to apply it, I'm gonna go into my MAC 239S brush, and it's clean, I promise. This just has never been able to come off, so I don't know what that is. Ox. Apply this all over, and it's okay if we hit the brow bone. I want to make this not super like, you know, cut crease, half cut crease like I always do. I really want to keep this look super soft. And applying this color will really help to open up the eye a little bit more. I'm going to pat it into that shade, dark shade. And you guys can tell right away how soft and smooth that looks. I love doing these makeup looks when I used to do bride makeup. These were seriously like a go-to makeup look all the time for brides. It's just really pretty and it photographs really, really nicely. And they were just seriously the go-to. So I am gonna run this also just above my brow bone, keeping it very nice and soft. And then I'm gonna go back into this brush from Morphe, the M441 with no product. I'm just going to buff this out towards the outer corner, because if we add more eyeshadow, it could really mess this up, and then you would have to go back into that shade called Exposed and go back and forth with it again. So this is really just going to help to smooth this part out without applying extra product. And I'm very, very light hand too with it. So for eyeliner, I'm gonna go into MAVEN Beauty. This is their brown liquid liner. And what I'm gonna do with this is I am going to take it like up this way, which you guys will see. So I'm gonna bring it in just like halfway towards the eye and bring it all the way in like that. And we're gonna fill it in, but we're gonna stop right there. I'm gonna go back into that Morphe M506, pick up the shade called Aesthetic again, and then we're just going to apply it towards this outer corner and pretty much set that liner and just tap, tap, tap. So I don't wanna go like this. I just wanna tap, 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 tap. I just want to tap it in. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this eye, apply some lashes, and then I'll be right back with you guys to finish the lower lash line. All right, guys, so I am back. I went ahead and just did my skin off camera really quick because really all we need to do is just the lower lash line and then give you guys my final thoughts on the palette. So do not mind this. I me pegué en la cabeza and it's healing. And yes, it did hurt really bad. So anyways, just in case anybody had any questions or probably you guys were staring at it since the beginning and I didn't say anything, I apologize. Me pegué. Okay, so for under the eye right here, so that way it is connected, I'm gonna go into the shade Mink, which also is in the Supreme Nudes palette, and it's a nice dark brown, which I'm glad because I broke my Mink shade on the Supreme Nudes palette, so I'm really glad that this palette has it. So I'm using this brush from Morphe in collab with Ariel, and pretty much what I'm going to do, you guys, is just go right underneath the waterline here and just connect it to the top, so that way it's connected. And just the inner corner, you guys, we're not going all the way in. And the cool thing about this, you guys, is that it's only the inner corner. Like, we're not touching this anymore. We're pretty much just focusing that eyeshadow right here. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into that brown shade as well, and I'm gonna bring it towards this outer corner of the eye with the same brush from Morphe and Ariel. Gonna go back into Aesthetic and pretty much do the exact same thing. Just gonna focus it towards this outer corner. I'm gonna go into my TRESLUCE. This is their Intenso liner in the shade Tranquila. This nude pencil, you guys, is seriously so good. It is so bomb. I love it because it's super pigmented. And I'm just gonna run this towards my waterline. And I'm gonna let it dry for the first layer, and then I'm gonna go on top of it one more time. When I layer this, I feel like it just looks more intenso, more intense, and it lasts a lot longer too. And I did bring it in right here, or brought it down to just highlight this area. And then of course I'm gonna go into Nudist, and I'm gonna bring this towards the lower lash line using my eye shading brush, the E55 by Sigma. And I'm just going to run this here, or right on top of the liner that we just applied, just to set it. For my lower lashes, I'm gonna go into Merit Beauty. I've been obsessed with their mascara. It is seriously so good. And I'm just gonna coat a generous amount on my lower lashes. because I love it. All right, you guys, so that is it for today's eyeshadow tutorial. What are your thoughts? Let me know right now. Pause this video and go comment down below and let me know what you think of this palette. So obviously, like I said, I already have the Supreme Nudes palette, so they just pretty much made a smaller version, but we do have some new shades in this palette. The Supreme Nudes, obviously it is way bigger than the Supreme Nudes The Quickie, way bigger, and you have obviously more eyeshadows to play with. I feel like you guys, they did such an amazing job with this palette. As you guys can tell, I've used her up so much. I broke the shade Mink, and I'm so happy that they placed the shade Mink in the new palette because obviously she's gone. The new eyeshadows that they put in here is Iconic, Brilliance, and Undressed Supreme 2.0, but the other ones are original ones from that palette because I believe they asked their followers on which eyeshadows were they hitting pan the most, and of course these are the ones that people were saying that they would go through them really fast, and I'm glad that they did because they are seriously perfect. So, and I love her. I actually really like her, and I love the color, the packaging. Like, nude is just so in, it's so aesthetic, and I feel like they did such an amazing job with this palette. Like, I'm obsessed. Of course, I will link everything down below for you guys. I don't know if this is available at Sephora just yet. I haven't checked, but if I do find that link, I will link that down below. I will add my discount code as well if you guys are wanting to support me and save some money at the same time. You're more than welcome to use my code. It is not necessary, but I will throw that down there for you guys if you're interested. I feel like if you need this in your life, go out and get it. If you don't need it, don't buy it. I'm just here to give you guys my most honest opinion, and you know, I love to do these videos and show you guys how you can use these palettes, and you are in control of your wallets. So if you feel like you need it, get it, girl. If you don't, then that's okay too. I love you guys so much. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe before you do leave today, and I will catch you guys in my next video on Thursday. I love you. Besitos. Bye, girls.